Hello, and welcome to Diana's Makerspace. For today, I would like to talk about a topic which is rearing its ugly head. It originally started in the 1930s with the Nazis, and part of the reason why I'm bringing this up is yesterday was Elba Day, when basically Allied forces met at the Elbe River that mark 2 weeks to the end of World War II and the Great Patriot War. In World War II, 440,000 Americans died. The Great Patriot War, 20 million Soviets died and Russians. The reason why I'm bringing up degenerate art because degenerate art was something that the Allies fought against. However, it did rear its ugly head in Racine about for a year and a half. In my apartment, I was made to feel as I had degenerate art, and I had to take it down. Also, I faced harsh retribution from one manager who was very aggressive. I actually had called my insurance company, talked with my doctors, and also planned to talk with therapists. But what does degenerate art mean? Well, degenerate art was started by small-minded people in Germany, a group of Nazis who picked on art that was not according to certain ideals, certain community standards that they want people to follow. So what did many people have to do? Many people had to make miniatures, 8 by 10, 8 by 12, 7.5 by 11, and also they used Minix cameras and Minix films to smuggle papers and artwork out because a Minix film was about the size of a fingernail on your pinky, and a 4-inch and a Minix film negative case would hold 36 exposures in this 3 by 5 notebook. You can also develop it very easy because I remember my dad taught me like this. It's basically like this. I could do it blindfold. That's putting the film in the canister, pouring the solution, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, dump it out, take out the film, hang it, and then what happens? Exit the darkening, come back in about 15 minutes later, it's ready. And then you just snip it into this. But why am I talking about degenerate art? Because basically, there's a movement to have religious things brought back into things that even like with trans issues regarding use of bathrooms, bathroom wars again, and even with the UK Supreme Court. I mean, many people who are Republicans don't support this. And what happens again? It's a group. That's got it. That's like how people reacted to Doge when they found out what some of the Doge people were doing, and how basically now that their wings are getting clipped. But basically, it's taken time. They got from midterm elections. The thing is, what happens though is the thing is even in apartments. So apartments in this area are very expensive. My apartment without subsidy is $1,100 a month. And what happens? People in some places they try to take advantage of people that way because they sort of say, well, you have to do this and this. Yeah, what happens? They're paying for expensive. They're paying for expensive trucks in the way to pay for this because they're paid to be the heavy to scare people. And many people in my building a year and a half ago, 20 moved out. It took them 9 months to re-rent the whole building again. And they still have a sign up because many people are scared about what happened this last time. The new management is trying to make nice, they have a nice person who does know what she's doing. However, but the thing is, it took me until this bad manager left about a month and a half ago, but it took me about a month, about now to have the courage to put my artwork back up and not to feel that I'm putting up degenerate art. It's like years ago. When I was working as a web designer, I met one person who lived in Kenosha. He worked in LA. He designed a lot of album covers for Styx, AC/DC, Kiss, many prominent rock and roll bands, and he wanted me to do a website. And since he lived in Kenosha, well, we decided well let's meet at a South Side fast food place. Well, we went there, And what happened was he said, well, what do you think? I said, these are great album covers. It's like, he said, well, do you think we could get this? I said, yeah, I have a Nikon. I said, I could get this on high resolution, make it so. I developed a technique so I could put high resolution photos that they stream quickly, even at slow internet speeds back then. Well, what happened was suddenly we had some people come in by us, mm, is that pornography? Is that this? Is that that? And he became very nervous. He closed his portfolio. He says, well, he says, there's someplace else we go. I said, sure, let's go up to Barnes& and Noble and Racine. So we drove all the way from the south side of Kenosha up to Barnes& and Noble and Racine, which is about 12 miles. So we took Highway 31 all the way up to and we went up to Barnes& and Noble and Racine. And at that time, Barnes& and Noble was an open place. It still is open, but I wish it'd become more open. And we talked. He showed me the portfolio. He showed me other stuff. Um, and what happened? I gave him a bid, but he remarked. He said, Kenosha has always supported education with Mary D. Bradford being the first woman administrator in Kenosha, but yet when the realtors came in, or some of us call them the carpetbaggers from Chicago, wanted to sort of say, well, we don't have these type of people, LGBT, non-religious, and other stuff. These it really ruined Kenosha, and that's part of the reason why I moved up to Racine. But even what I went through last year and after Racine, I'm wondering if I really want to stay in Racine, because basically I'm a creative person. I can't be constrained by dumb people or by stupid religious people who feel that the Second Amendment rights means telling me how to live and what artwork I can have. No, it doesn't. The Second Amendment only applies to you. You have a right to practice religion, not practice religion. You have the right to go to church, not go to church, whatever. You don't have a right to force on anyone else at work who's renting from you or in the public square. And I'm raised First Congregation, so we're not allowed to preach in the public square. That's one of the canons of our church. And also we're non-Calvinists, so we don't believe in predestination. We don't believe that you can do anything and you'll go to heaven. You have to earn your way every day, every day. And but the thing is, even with the onset of funny religious behavior, dumb religious behavior, I'm moving more towards pagan, because when I was in graduate school, I had a counselor who was pagan. She was Wiccan. She did a great job helping me through graduate school and helping me through some issues. And I mean, I'm moving more towards Wiccan, incense, and even Buddhist, other stuff as well, because um, the Christian faith, the Jewish faith, I think they have some dumb people who are going way overboard, trying to set the world backwards. And I don't want to live backwards. I live in the 21st century. I don't live in the 14th century. I don't live in the 19th century. I don't live in the 16th century. We live in the 21st century. And we have to address issues, and we just can't put our heads to the stand and say, well, the priest's wife, the rabbi's wife, or they know everything. No, they don't. The Pope doesn't know everything. Neither does the conclave. No. So, well, let me show an example of some of the artwork that I put on, and show you. I'll let you decide. But basically, I as an artist, I believe an artist, the point of view of artists is express comments and thoughts, whether they're liked or whether they're objectionable. Because like our professor I had, David Holmes, he told us, he said, any art, he believed that basically art is partially art people like, but also art that people find objectionable, like Pablo Picasso's, Roger Milantrope. I'm a fan of his like that, though, because what happens, you have to make a comment, and sometimes you can't be nice. Sometimes you have to be objectionable, but not violent. Always non-violent. But let me show you and have a look, and you tell me what you think. Now here's some of my artwork. You can see I have some things on here. This is the newest thing I added. Was from Shape, because Gabrielle Lees. I always loved how she kept herself fit. She was in volleyball, and at that time when I wanted to transition, that's how I wanted my shape to look, like that, though. And that's still my goal. I'm down to 245 pounds. And this one here with the cheerleading picture, this is how I wish basically I could have gone to college and even high school, being the cheerleader, kissing the boyfriend, like that, though, and stuff. Now this other one is, you can see, I added a picture of myself, so like in a Sabrina, we made a nightgown into a Sabrina Carpenter, and also I also like the makeup and the face look, and I also like the outfit because I think that that's a very cute outfit. I mean, that's something I really love to wear. And then going up, this is a program one game program I wrote in the '80s about socially conscious thing, about what would you do if you were spending time and how would you help your boyfriend. And this is a Photoshop of me in a Chanel 2003 spring fashion. I still would love to get that. And as we go down, you can see a little bit of my TV, a little bit of things here. I rearranged the Barbie with the Barbie beds, you can see. And also what I did with Mike, I took Mike off the pedestal. I made a set of pajamas for him, made him 2 outfits. And for Chipper, I made a full pillow for Chipper to lay on like that. I put the TV so everyone could watch TV together, and you can see Emily is laying in the sofa there, and the genie is resting in her bottle. Then I have the thing with the magnolias, and you can see I have the outfits. These are Mike's outfits right here. I love satin, so golden satin. And these are the Barbie outfits. It's interesting. Some of the Barbie outfits even fit Sandy the Mermaid, which is whenever I buy outfits, I try to make it so they buy all three. Now, this is a medical Buddha poster that a friend of mine who's Buddhist gave me, the medical Buddha. And now these are from Art in America. The bottom one is a Photoshop of me that is done from L that was done many years ago by a Russian designer. I love the dress and I love the gown. So I always like to see what I look like, so I do Photoshop. This is one, let's see. This is the one with Dua Lipa before she changed the hair from L. I always like this because this was a very interesting issue, more than just a picture, what was said. And you can see how I used foam board to make a bookcase. And also, again, adopting a wicker Buddha. I have black salt to ward out evil spirits. I put some by the door so evil spirits can't walk through my door. Then I made another bookshelf. And you can see a sofa, as well as the sofa over here. Little bit of vines. And then this is some photos. Now this one photo right here is from Barnes & Noble with the little chipmunk. I just thought that was cute. I'm going to buy that and add that. And this is another one of my game programs I wrote that shows and I put a little Photoshop image of me, like so like a brand, so if someone tries to steal it, they can't steal it, because some people ask them, well, what's that image? They can't explain that image, so that's how they get caught. And this is my Republicans, Democrat chessboard when I was simulating a scenario. Now, as we pan, you can see today is a nice day like this. Very sunny, and I'm going to get out a little bit later. But as we pan, you can see Karen and Pingy. And then what I did is I add some privacy curtains. And then also you can see my dress form where actually I'm making a dress for myself. In addition, you can see my crafting table where I'm doing some artwork and doing some other things. I have one singer inside here in a computer just to do some drafting and stuff. Ottoman, and a little ottoman to put stuff. My coffee table where I have different magazines. And my sort of one office where I use to sort of do different things on the computer. Also, I do some of my podcasting. This is my podcasting computer. Little bookshelf. Again, even back then, my books were considered degenerate books. I have put some of them in storage. Now I can bring them back out again. Some other books. And let's do it this way. You can see my closet, different stylish stuff. And even with my electronic stuff. When we go over here, you can see my bookcase, different topics. I'm trying to keep a list of books for future reference, because I think Many things in college are being missed because of the way they're changing the books. And this is my desk. This is my desk where I do some of my executive stuff, tax returns, other types of business stuff like that, though. And along you can see the pride flags, my dad's urn, my dad's board, and then if we pan, you can see this is the board honoring my parents and close friends. Um, Sandy, my close friend, my uncle Bruce in the back there. Helene, my mother's close friend, my mother when she was younger, my dad. A picture of my mom and dad when they were married. Dale, I got to get a picture of Rose, because Dale and Rose were a very, very good couple. Now let's go on to look at some. Now here's some of the things I did start put up. This was a sketch of me done in 1974 when I was about 12 years old. A picture of when I ran for mayor. One picture when I modeled a fashion bug. Another picture when I used to perform an open mic. Another picture taken by Sandy at Daytona Beach. And also, this is my favorite poster because this helped me get through this moment. And also this book poster as well. But the other thing about the Paris Fit Digital, also I like that because it's very good to have fashion. And the other thing about the library escape room, because what happens last year, I didn't have a chance to go to the library, so my library escape room was someplace else, and actually it was a fast food place where basically I could find safety, as well as Barnes and Noble. Now this is some of the new art. This is some of my art that I did take down that I put back up. And what happens to some people who are narrow-minded to religious, they may consider this degenerate art. And some of it may consider objectionable. But the reason why I have it up there is basically to show that basically not everything is sugar-coated. There are difficulties, and it's how you get through these difficulties. Even this one, some people may have issues about this because it shows where people think if someone's forced that they'll never be able to change or move into it or adapt or make a new future. And it shows on here one panel where basically at first they feel panic, but then they do make a new future. They find friends. They do other things. And that's what you should do. Because what happens, especially when you're transgender, you'll have people try to scare you, say, well, you'll have an easier life if you detransition. Don't. Now, I keep this up because it's inspiration. And you can see also my poetry and my vase. Both the vase and glass ball were made in Poland. I bought that from Pier 1. And there's one person on YouTube that she remakes Barbie dolls into fairy dolls. That's from Poland. I'll try to put her link up. No, I have her in my episode compendium. So just go to episode compendium, you'll see it. Now, you can see part of my board here. Bedroom, some ideas, inspiration. And now you can also see my makeup, my computer. This is my second Singer that I have in here for sewing because on this one pedestal here, it's very easy for it to sew. You can see my Pride keychain, some of my stuff, some other stuff here. And as we move over, you could see I put up more of my posters because I'm a visual person. I like to think of things. And last year this was considered degenerate art by I was made to feel this was degenerate art. Well, I'm tired of being pushed around. I have a right to show my artwork. I'm an artist. I'm a creative person. And this is in my own building. This is not being shown outside in the public. So no, this is in my own apartment. And now what happens is basically you can see some of the others. Some of this is one from Gucci. Another one's from two Saturday morning TV series they like, Electro Woman and Dinah Girl, which was a very important in my growing up. And also ISIS. One time when we went to summer camp, Bill, and Randy, what happened? We were waiting for our parents to pick pick us up after we got back early. And all the boys were watching all these uh, violent Saturday morning cartoons. What happened was the girls were watching ISIS and Electro Woman Dinogo, and we asked, well, can we go and the girls will watch? And they said, why? I said, well, that's what we normally watch. And all the guys looked at us like, what, you guys are girls? You're dressed as boys, but you guys act like girls. And actually, we went to girls' TV room and we had a great time. And they thought, well, it's nice because at that time in Milwaukee, there's a huge amount of toxic masculinity. And that's what happened at Racine a year and a half ago. Now it's finally being fought against. And as you can see, another poster, like with the Barbie outfit, I like to get the Barbie bike and get that outfit to go riding. A black and white poster, we had an outfit. Another poster, a nice outfit. I like the outfits, and also you can see an inspirational poster. Transitioning is a form of self-awareness, not because I hated myself, but because I love myself enough and believe I deserve to be happy while I'm still alive. Still alive. Lala Ireland Trans Awareness Week 2017. And here's one from Gucci. And this is another one I like too. Take your time and don't rush. Think about the entire tryout. Don't think about the entire tryout at once. Only think about this skill, cheer, or dance. You are executing at this moment. Take deep breaths and tell yourself that you can still do it. Be loud, confident, smile, and most importantly, have fun. That's a great thing to say. And also this one here, straight, but you're getting there. Your feminine side is growing stronger, and that's what I like about this. Now, the one with Susan Vega and Luca, the reason why I like this because that helped me at a time when I was at the research park and I was being hazed. Also during pre-med, when I was being hazed by people who know better, MD, PhDs, MSs. That's why when I left Milwaukee, I never really wanted to work in Milwaukee again. That's why I was glad I worked on the West Coast, and that's why I went to college on the West Coast for graduate school. And never looked back. And you can see some other, one from Harper's Bazaar. I like this one. Now this photo, let me go around here a little bit. Now this photo, the reason I have this is because I find this interesting because basically this is showing two people who are trans ballerinas. Basically, the guys who transitioned in studying ballet, and there are many people who do that even before transition became popular. A friend of mine, she transitioned when she was a male. Her parents allowed her to take ballet class. Another friend, when he went to school, he was allowed to take home ec. I wish I was allowed to do that in Kenosha, but Kenosha, like Milwaukee, had toxic masculinity, so you sort of had to hide yourself like that, though. That's why I was glad when I got to college and got out to the West Coast, and more so to the West Coast. I would work on the West Coast again if I could find a way to do it. Now, heading back out, I put up, again, the post with Susan Baker to remind me that I survived hazing and bullying and pre-med and even working in medical research, which is why I left the field, because I didn't want to be like them. And this is the old shingle from our old house that was in Kenosha. A recent article, some articles that were published in 2600 magazine. Another article is published in 2600 magazine. And also this one here, what I like about sitting pretty, and also motivation for all, kick butt, look cute, repeat, and victory. It's having the balls to say that you're above girliness in spite of your gender and in the face of society's expectations. And the other one I like about this is my life involves a lot of chaos and travel and high energy, so I wanted a home that feels serene, a place where I can simply zone out and rest and relax. And the other one says, far from the dazzling lights and things beats on the runway. Supermodel Kendall Jenner finds refuge in her serene Los Angeles home, bathed in warm natural tones and organic uh, text resolution. So that's what I tried to do with my apartment, but I had that violated for a year and a half, and now it's ended. But the reason I'm making this video is to give everyone encouragement. You can fight back, get legal, get medical, get a doctor. And most of all, don't let these religious people or these manager people who have to pay for expensive trucks push you around. Just remember, you have your right. You don't have a right to walk in their home and tell them how to live. They don't have a right to walk in your home and tell them how to tell them to fuck themselves. And also get an attorney. But whatever, always keep nonviolent, because they always want to make sure that they try to get you that you throw the first punch. Never throw the first punch. Never say anything insulting. Keep professional, even if they don't. And also carry a tape recorder, because in Wisconsin is a one-party state. You can record conversations legally as long as they see you holding the tape recorder. And that's why I always carry a tape recorder with me whenever I talk with people. I turn it on, and then if it's nothing consequential, turn it off and just erase it. But carry a tape recorder. Well, this has been Diana's Makerspace. Let me know what you think. And the best way to reach me is, as I said before in the past, YouTube, Facebook, Pinterest, X. Just let me know, and I'll have more maker spaces coming in the future.